defines you? Are you still you when big things in your life start to change, like when perimenopause hits, or after the kids move out, when you leave your job to start a business, or after your business crosses the $1 million mark? How about if you get a divorce or lose the relationship you've been in? Listen, if you're like most women, there's a lot about your identity that has been built upon a myth. And when life takes a major turn, it can leave you questioning that identity at best, lost to who you really are at worst. Now, if this is resonating, know that you're not alone. Because today, I'm going to bring on an incredible guest who has lived through this very thing. And she is going to help us dismantle this myth of who we are so that you can anchor into the truth of who you've always been, so that nothing, and I mean nothing, can pull you away from it. Welcome to another Catalyst conversation for a relationship revolution. Here we challenge the unquestioned assumptions about love, life, and leadership, disrupting the patterns that have been keeping you stuck and revealing the truth that no one's taught you. Here we activate new ways of leading relationships consciously, courageously, differently, and dare I say, better, so that you can have the kind of relationships and the life that most people only dream of. I'm so glad that you're here. You ready? Let's get into it. So every May, I go myth busting, okay? And in these Catalyst conversations, I take the stories, the ideas, the beliefs that we've been handed as capital T truth about love, about relationships, about what women are supposed to be and want and how we're supposed to act, right? All that shit. And I pull them apart, not to be destructive, but to set ourselves free, right? Because those stories that we inherit, a lot of them were never ours to begin with, and they don't serve us or our relationships. So in this episode, which is episode 2 of our May Myth series, we're going to get into one of the most personal and pervasive and quietly devastating myths that women carry, the myth of who we are. So stick with me, because this is going to be one that I think lands somewhere really deep and important. Before I jump into the juiciness of this conversation, let me take a moment to introduce myself for those of you who may be new to me or this work. My name is Dr. Jeni Wahlig. I am an award-winning relationship mentor, speaker, author, intuitive guide, and I'm a relationship revolutionary. My mission is to revolutionize how we think about and go about our relationships, and to redefine what it really means to love, so that we may all experience the true power and possibilities that our relationships have to offer. Because you've heard me say it before, and I'm going to keep saying it, my friends, nothing impacts the quality of our lives more than the quality of our relationships. And we are in relationships all the time, including a relationship with ourselves, right? Not just our partner. This is in every corner of our lives that we need these skills. And unfortunately, most of us have never learned how to do our relationships well, let alone how to lead them consciously and relationally, especially when things get challenging. Much of what we have learned on top of that not only doesn't work, it's part of what's keeping us stuck and unhappy. So the revolution that I'm talking about is this great global healing through the truth of love. It's a return to wholeness from separation. It's a paradigm shift in the way humanity relates to one another, how we love, how we leave. And I like to start with the most intimate levels. In these Catalyst conversations, my goal isn't just to give you insight. It is to wake something up within you, so you may be part of this revolution too. Now, let me tell you about our amazing guest today. She has spent decades becoming everything everyone needed her to be. And somewhere inside all of that, she lost herself. My guest today is an ICF-certified identity strategist and transition coach who works with high-achieving women over 40 to navigate the life challenges that strip away their familiar anchors, things like divorce or loss or career reinvention or the empty nest. She's written a book called She Stands Strong. She helps women to ask the questions that most of us are too afraid to voice. Who am I underneath all of this, all of what I do? Charu, Welcome, my friend, to the
Oh,
Relationship Revolutionary podcast.
thank you, Jenny. That was such a nice introduction, and more than anything else, it sets the stage for today for our conversation. It had a lot of depth and segues into what we are going to be talking about today. Thank you so much for having me over.
Oh, yes. I'm really grateful that you are here to share this message because I really think it is so important. And so I want to start by asking you this, right? So when you talk about the women that you work with, you talk about women who are in a position where they're asking that question, right? Who am I? And it usually comes from, like we start to question it in the middle of upheaval, in the middle of transitions, right? But I think, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are, but I think for we high achieving women who've done so much, who build so much, who have such great capacity, this questioning of identity can be incredibly disorienting, maybe more than for other people. Um, why do you think that is, or would you agree?
That's a wonderful question, and we're diving straight into it.
Oh yeah, we go right there.
Something that I've experienced and I see more often now with all the disruptions that's going on. Let's see how AI is disrupting this whole playing field.
That's okay.
Especially, I'm touching on it very soon right now. Especially women, more 86% of women. That's the latest research, and 86% of which kind of women? The high achieving women.
Wow.
Fortune just called it out. 86% of women are going to be affected than men
By the evolution of AI.
by the evolution of AI, the disruption, and that
Incredible.
when they're talking about it. So, what is it that's shifting? What is it that we haven't really taken notice of and owned it?
Yeah.
Identity.
Hmm.
It's the identity that the women have been performing in their roles, what they do, what they bring to the table,
Hmm.
how they do it. So 86% of that identity is tied down to our roles we play.
Yes. That
Can
is,
you imagine 86% is going to be disrupted right now?
yeah.
That
Yeah.
is huge. That
It is so huge.
it is so huge. It is unimaginable when you think about it.
Hmm.
And the only difference, and you see, there is again a gender thing that's going around it.
Hmm.
And that begs to ask the question that when you find yourself at such kind of a path where you are intersected with new
Mm.
and something that's existing, you are going to question, who am I
Hmm.
beyond the role that I have been playing?
Hmm.
Who am I beyond the expectations, what I bring to the table? Who am I beyond what everyone else has put me into and asked me, wants me to perform? These are the very important key ones. And you know what?
Mm.
Women differ than men even in this.
Yes. Say more about that because I am so with you, Charu.
So you see, our conditioning, how
Hmm.
we, it's the nature versus the nurture. That's what we keep talking about. And
Hmm.
science has proven it that yes, that there is. But what is it that's shifted? What shifted is that women have been expected to fit in the roles that was not made for them. Actually, not
Sweet.
made for them.
Yes. Same, like, okay. So I'm 100% with you, but I'm wondering if the women listening are like, okay, what roles are not made for me? Because the role of mother is made for me, the role of wife is made for me, the role of caretaker and the manager of life and relationships, that was made for me. Isn't that what women are supposed to do? So what do you mean that these roles were not made for us?
If I'm talking about roles that are not made for us, we have to go back to the hunter gatherers time. There was a reason
Mm.
why the men were called as the protectors
Mm-hmm.
and why the women were the nurturers and the healers. They
Mm-hmm.
still called as the nurturers and the healers.
Yep.
And there was a clear, very clear diversification of tasks. And why?
Mm-hmm.
Because of capabilities and abilities. Because the man believed that this is in best, because this is what she offers and she brings, and this is what she's skilled at. So,
Mm.
so you see, it was already very well made out.
Yeah.
So you see the feminine power and the masculine power there,
Mm-hmm.
they were very balanced. They were very strong. The man then could not question the women's nurturing abilities, neither any of her caretaking abilities, because
Mm-hmm.
she was the queen. She was the feminine energy that was bringing in that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see evolution happened. And then you see industrial revolution happened. And then you see education came in between.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everything came and we started talking about, okay, our women are more educated. We need to step out of the boundaries and explore ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We have scientists, we have doctors, we have educationists, we have academicians, we have everyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah.
all of that changed. We thought that with that change, our identities are going to change and people are going to accept us. And the first thing is, we are going to accept ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But that is where the problem happened. The
Hmm.
problem came in right there. And that is where identity shifted and stopped. Because now you see the roles are, oh, you are the nurturer and you are the caretaker. That is something that's universal. That's who you are. That is naturally what you're bound to because that's how you are biologically made. But now you're going to be an equal partner. These are your roles, these are the expectations. This is what is expected of you. This is how you're going to show up at work. This is how you are going to be when you are with your family. This is how you are going to be when you are with your friends. This is how you're going to be in your social setting. So you see, everything was actually programmed and planned for them differently.
Mm.
But the man has been the same since then.
Mm.
There has
So,
been no evolution for men. There has been no evolution for men. There has just been evolving for women. And why? Because women are capable of doing it.
oh yeah.
They are capable of evolving. And that is why a woman's identity shifts are so important.
Yeah.
She has to evolve, she has to grow. So
Mm.
today, if women are doing it, she's evolving and growing. But what is lacking is that support, that and that belief that her evolving is meant for her growth. It
Yeah.
is not meant to hold her back.
Yes. And I think that's so important. A couple of things I want to really highlight that you're saying, Charu. First, that this evolution isn't a bad thing, right? It's part of our growth. It's a beautiful thing that women have been able to do, and uh, we need to recognize that being able to shift our sense of who we are or stay anchored into like the core of who we are, even as those roles change, right? Like that's what I'm hearing is like our roles have changed a lot. Like and now we are holding maybe more roles than we have capacity for.
Exactly. I
Um,
mean, you're right.
but that's not who we are, right? And I also want to name like I love that you're speaking to men not having evolved. And men, if you're watching this, I hope that you're not getting too defensive about it. We're not necessarily speaking about you specifically. We're speaking about men in general. And the truth is, this is true. Men haven't evolved, not the way that women have. And this is part of what I like to talk about in the relationship revolution work that I'm doing, is the need for men to evolve and the power that we women have to invite them, to insist that they finally start doing that evolutionary work with us, because we're at a point now where we need them to, where women need them to. So this piece of like identity, both needing to be flexible, but also, as you're really pointing to, Charu, not like it can't be tied to what we do, to those scripts about who we're supposed to be that everybody else is telling us, because that keeps changing. Am I getting that right?
Yes, absolutely right. I mean, and that's the thing. We have been evolving, and we have been evolving at a faster pace than our cognitive,
Mm,
emotional abilities can even gather and process it.
amazing.
Very fast pace we are evolving. Why? Because of the different roles that now women are either taking them on or are thrust upon.
Mm, mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? There are places and environments where women are thrust upon roles, and there are others where women invite those roles, where
Mm-hmm.
they take it as a challenge, where they want to grow.
Yeah.
So you see, there is already a friction. There is
Mm,
a friction between her growth and what role demands and what expectation is there. That's one friction, because there's one personal thing about her. This is what I want for me, right?
mm,
And there is the other one. No, but this is not what I want for you. This is what we want collectively for an organization, for a company, for,
mm-hmm. A wife,
wherever that
a
she
mother.
is at work,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
then comes the other woman where she's thrusted upon it.
Mm-hmm.
So you see, change and identity was thrust upon her.
Mm. Well, and I have to imagine that for most women, there's a bit of both
There
in
is.
in this life. And what I'm find in the work that I do is the high achieving women that are coming to me to do this transformational work in their relationship. They've hit that point where, I mean, not only are they questioning who I am, but they're also at this threshold of, I don't want to be who everybody else is telling me to be and expecting me to be. I want to honor who I am, even if I don't know who that is, and like and how I want to live my life and what I want my roles to be and the way that I want to show up in the world. Like I want to figure out what matters to me and live into that. And that I think is another piece of the evolution that we're in right now, that more and more women are coming to.
Yeah, absolutely right. And into that, I'd like to give you the three myths that we women face. Just three myths over
Please,
here.
yes, let's do that.
The first myth, just segue into what you're saying, is I need more time. I just need more time.
Mm. That is
I
real. I'm
just
subject to
need,
that one too.
I just need more time. That
Mhm.
my identity, you don't question it. I just need more time for processing it, where you're
Mhm.
waiting for as if you have
Figure
some
it out.
kind of a epiphany or a clarity. So I
Yeah.
just need more time.
Mhm. Mhm. Let me sit with this. Let me think about it.
Let me
It'll
sit
come to
with this. Let
me.
me think about it. Let me give some more time. I don't think I'm ready right now.
Yep. Yep.
These are the things we tell ourselves.
Mhm.
These are the things that we feel that we are, we believe that we are encouraging ourselves. We
Mhm.
believe that we are our best friend by doing that. But you see, we are shackling ourselves.
Yes.
That's the first myth, right? The
Mhm.
second one is reinvention. For us, is like reinvention means starting over.
Mhm. Mhm. Scrapping everything
Absolute,
and figuring it out
absolute
from the.
myth.
Mhm.
Reinvention is never means starting over. What do you mean by reinvention starting over? You mean to say that you were at ground zero when you came in where you were, and there was nothing else in your orbit, nothing else about you? Like you were nothing?
Mm, impossible.
So how can exactly? So how
Mhm.
can you say you are at that ground zero? How can you say you're reinventing yourself from scratch or from starting over? I do not like that phrase at all. Reinventing myself from scratch. I'm sorry. You've already dismissed everything about yourself.
Yeah.
You've already dismissed the years of experience, the years of learnings, the years of failures, the years of challenges, the years of growth. You've dismissed everything, locked it in a compartment, and left it.
Mm,
Does that mean that holds no levity? It has no gravity about it at all?
of course not. Mhm.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. And the third one is you define every role who you are. It's like without that, I'm nothing.
Mhm.
Every role of yours, your roles just define who you are. I'm a mother. I'm a high achieving woman. I'm a VP. I'm a wife. You have to define every role as a
Mm,
badge of honor
mhm. And
because
that's the myth. Yes.
that's a myth. That's a
Mhm.
myth. Because you see, that is just, it's almost like a packaging. Let me tell you, you get
Yeah.
a gift, right? You're
Yep.
excited, you see the package, you're like, wow, this packaging looks so beautiful.
Uh-huh.
It dressed up really fantastic, right?
Mhm.
And you're all excited. But what happens? It's so short lived. You want to know what's inside.
Yeah.
So we want to know what's inside that gift. Why
Mhm.
don't we want to do that work and know what's inside us then?
Yeah. Yes.
Why are we shirking away from doing that when we're so excited to see a gift, when we're so excited to see the best kind of event where the table scaping is just amazing? Are you just going to stand there and just admire that, or are you
Mhm.
going to try it?
Mhm.
You're going to try it. Why? Because you want to know.
Yeah.
So why don't you want to know who you are? Who am I? Beyond that wife, beyond that executive, beyond that mother, beyond
Mm,
that friend, beyond that sister, why don't you want to know?
mm,
Why do you think these roles are limiting you? Why are you allowing these roles to limit you?
mhm.
That's a big, big myth.
It's a huge myth, and it really affects our our life and our relationships, because that then becomes who we be. And you've used the word several times, like perform, like how we're performing these roles, and that's exactly what we're doing. We are acting out the script of what the definition of that role is, what it means to be a high achieving woman, what it means to be a mom, what it means to be uh, an entrepreneur or a wife. And a lot of the time those roles, like, there's tension between them. One of the biggest ones that I hear women talk about, women entrepreneurs who are also mothers, is like, how do I balance being an entrepreneur and owning my own business and being a good mom? Because the role of good mom says that I should be a lot more present and available and engaged and involved with my kids, but my business needs so much from me, right? Like so I love this idea of recognizing you don't need more time to figure it out. Like, don't let's not put it off. And the roles are not defining you. Remind me what your second myth was. I should have written it down.
No. You wrote reinventing.
Oh,
Reinventing
yes,
means
yes,
starting
and
over.
right, and, like, and that so that, like, figuring out who you are doesn't mean starting from scratch. You're not starting from ground zero, right? And these questions that you're posing, Charu, I hope that our listeners are really, like, slowing down and checking in with themselves about that, because they're important questions. Like, what's keeping you from doing this? And one of the things that's coming up for me as you're talking is recognizing that a lot of women maybe don't even recognize that they can ask those questions, that their identity is underneath the package for them to unwrap and figure out. And we get so much validation. We outsource our worth as women way too often. for other people to tell us that we're good enough, that we're pretty enough, that we're a good enough mom, that we're a successful business owner, that we're doing the right things. And so it makes sense in that respect that we put a lot of emphasis on that package and that performance so that we can receive that. So there's a part here, as I'm listening to you and thinking about this incredibly important message you're giving, that's like this identity work of really knowing who we are is also self-love work of recognizing our worth beyond the roles, that who we are doesn't need to be defined by the roles. Because I know, and maybe you can speak to this, because I know you have your own personal story that really connects, but I know for a lot of women, when those roles go away, it's like, where's my worth? My own mother, right? Like when we kids left the house, she was lost. Who am I now if not a mom, if not a caretaker? When she and my dad got divorced, it was like, who am I now? Like, how do I do this? What does this mean for me? And if you're not anchored in who you are without those roles, then as soon as life changes, and it does, like you get thrown off, and you can feel very, as I mentioned in the intro, like either disoriented or totally lost to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, see, transition is a very big part of everyone's life.
Yes.
Everyone goes through transitions, big, small, personal, professional.
Hmm.
I call transitions as a way of balance.
Yeah.
Anything, having too much of anything
Hmm.
puts a very unrealistic check of what life is about. You
Sure.
don't get the real understanding and the essence of life if you have too much of happiness.
Mm.
Too much of happiness is not good because then you're away from reality.
Yeah.
Then, when something really strikes you, you do not have that anchor and that capability to actually fight it.
Yeah.
So, you need something to balance it out.
Mm-hmm.
You need those little things, those frictions, you need those challenges. This might be very difficult, positive thinking and everything that we talk about. Well,
Yeah.
too much of positive thinking is a very bad thing too. Why? Because it gives wrong kind of hopes.
Mm-hmm.
Your positive thinking needs to be grounded in clarity and grounded in reality.
Mm-hmm.
That is when positive thinking helps you.
Yes.
Too much of it can be detrimental because you're not in touch with reality. It's the
Yeah.
same thing with transitions.
Mhm.
Transitions is a way, a mechanism that nature has found to fix things in your life.
I love that perspective. That's beautiful.
It just is because you see, when I went through a personal transition myself. In fact, I've been through a couple of major personal transitions in my life growing as a kid. But the most recent one was when I got divorced
Mm.
from a working woman to a stay at home parent. So you see, these were my roles: working woman, stay at home parent for 20 plus years. And
Wow.
now again, I'm back in after divorce, finding myself, trying to gain a foothold. And that was my moment that I said, who am I beyond the wife that I was, that I held so dearly, the
Yeah.
support that I gave as a role of a wife to
Mhm.
my ex's career? Who am I
Mhm.
beyond that? To my children, to whom, because of whom I actually did make the choice and decision to be a stay at home parent, to be available for them, to be the caretaker. Who am
Sure.
I beyond that? My world came tumbling down
Mhm.
because I'm just not that. There was a role I used to play earlier too, that I was a high achieving woman, that I was working, and I was embarrassed of myself.
Yeah.
I was embarrassed because I gave up everything to do this because, according to me, this was nothing what I was doing.
Mhm.
Not a big deal. I'm supporting my family. Not a
Mhm.
big deal that I am supporting my ex, my husband, my partner in his career, in his growth, in his life, in his goal, in his dreams, only to
Sure.
know that I would be left all by myself. Well, that really hit me hard. I
Yeah.
said, why did I put all my eggs in one basket? Why did I give away my life so easily, make myself so available as if I do not matter
Mm-hmm.
to a role that really didn't matter at the end of the day?
Mm-hmm.
So that question, that really was bothering me, and that led to who am I for me? Because I defined myself just by these roles.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, this needs an overhaul.
Yeah.
And really, I'm not going to scratch from beginning. So this was my myth that I was breaking for myself. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
scratching from beginning. I'm not starting from the beginning. I'm starting from where I left off.
Yeah.
I am moving forward. I am building. I'm not starting from beginning. I'm building. I'm moving forward
I love
from
that.
what I had, and I'm using that now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because if I wouldn't have had that, I wouldn't be where I am now. I wouldn't have had the understanding where I am now.
Right.
I wouldn't be here knowing who am I now? Because I very well know who I am now. Nobody else can question me on that because I
Mm-hmm.
very well know that. The reason being, I'm very happy with all the things that happened to me, all the transitions that happened to me made me, and I was
That's right.
wanting to know, excavating that part that said, who am I now? And I said, I'm removing the package of the mother, the wife, the perfect mother, the perfect friend, the perfect sister, all of that. And
Mm-hmm.
I am going to perform just for me.
I am
I
going
am going to honor
on.
just
Mm.
me because this was my self revelation time because I believed I'm going to build on myself.
Yeah.
I'm not starting from scratch because
Yeah.
I don't believe in that.
Yep.
I am starting from where I left off. I'm picking up everything and I'm just marching ahead. So that's where I broke my myth. So
Mm.
when working women, high achieving women who are lost, who ask that question that where am I in all of these roles, that I'm
Mhm.
not seen, that I'm invisible. These are the things that I went invisible, unheard, unseen, everything. I said that's because I did not believe in myself. It's really where I saw myself and my role, how much of self-worth I had in myself
Mhm.
is where I put myself. If
Yeah.
I had more self-worth and confidence, I wouldn't be asking myself that question.
Yes.
I would be assertive. I would know who I am. I
Mm.
would know what to expect, what to demand without an apology,
Mhm.
without dismissing myself, without diminishing myself,
Mhm.
because I'm not made to do that.
No. And this is so essential in our relationships, in improving our relationships and taking them to the next level, like all of our relationships. Absolutely our relationship with ourself and our self-worth, but also, in conversation about how we lead in our business or in our profession or at home with our spouse, like knowing our self-worth, knowing who we are, and how we want to perform for ourselves is so empowering to being able to consciously co-create the kind of dynamic we actually want to be living in, as opposed to just living out like these roles and these scripts that other people gave to us. And maybe we chose them, like you chose to be a stay-at-home mom, but what that meant about who you are, right? That was what someone else decided that we internalize. And so we can choose to be in roles 100%, but are we choosing it from a consciousness of recognizing who we are for ourselves within them, like who we are beyond them, and letting that truth of ourselves be the sovereign place of power from which we respond, from which we engage in those roles in our lives for ourselves and for what we want to be creating.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, when we say like the first myth that I brought up, you'll find yourself, you'll give yourself the space and the time. This is not the right time.
Hmm.
It's not. When we say that, there is a lot of cultural implication to it too.
Sure.
There's a lot of social, economical, and cultural implication
Mm.
to where women are today. That's why when I said we have evolved, not men, is because of the social, economical, emotional implications that have been written
Mhm.
specifically for women,
Mhm.
rooted in it, and that is what's moving forward. That's where the conversations are moving, and that's why women are evolving. That is why they're shifting and changing more.
Mhm.
And when that happens, there's always going to be a friction.
Mhm.
There's always going to be somebody who's going to question your status quo.
Yep.
There's always somebody who is going to ask you, but why? Why change now? But why? Everything is going fine. But why?
Mhm. Mhm.
That's always going to happen. And high achieving women always have to answer to that. But why? But why? Everything was okay. But why?
Mhm. Yeah.
And when you see that, when you see that, the first question for that should be, when you find yourself in that position
Mhm.
where you feel that you want the time, and you have the nagging feeling, but why? At that time, just stop feeling. What does that but why make you feel?
Mm.
What does that question make you feel from inside?
Yeah.
Get specific to the point, that as if you are your own investigator.
Yes.
What is this doing to me, and why is it nagging me? And when you do that, always remember, there's only one thing that's unshakable, and
Mm.
go back to your values. Go
Mm.
back to your value system. Go back to whatever your values were, and see which one of those values you compromised.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
What value did you compromise to come up there?
Mhm.
What value did you compromise when you said no to yourself and you said, I don't have time? What value did you compromise there? What
Mhm.
story did you give to that value to compromise right there?
Yeah.
Take that, and you want to change that, take that one action and align it and change it. Just that one action.
That's
So
beautiful.
that becomes like a three-step process for anyone to do it when they are in that role,
Mhm.
when they feel and they say that I do not have the time now, I don't think I can do it. And most high achieving women are just juggling. They are only juggling.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't know whether they're juggling that performance act, are they doing it for themselves, or to fulfill expectations of others,
Mhm. Mhm.
because they're so lost. They're so wanting to be validated. They're
Mhm.
so wanting to be ahead of the game.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, women are already ahead of the game.
That's right.
They're already ahead of the game. Why? Because they're performing so many roles to the best of their ability, right? And they are holding each fort, yet while being nurturing, yet while being caring, yet while being the conflict solver, yet while having the best communication skills, yet having the highest EQ,
Mhm.
yet while doing everything else, but yet she believes that I need more time and I am not good enough.
Yeah.
She questions herself 1,000 times than a man will ever question himself. And why? Because it goes back to the cultural implication.
Yeah.
Because they have been told, this is your job, this is your role, this is who you're good at, this is what you're good at, and you're damn well good. Don't allow anyone to question you.
Mhm.
Just don't allow anyone to question you.
Yeah.
A woman is like, no, always be collaborative. Always ask, be collaborative about it.
Mm.
Always ask. Collaboration is great, don't get me wrong. But at what expense is it coming?
Mhm.
When you know something, you're assertive about it, but you're scared that this might ruffle some feathers just because the script was not written for you. The script was written for another gender, which said that you know who you are. So
Yes.
don't allow anyone to question you.
Mm.
But no,
So true.
I'm a VP. And now when I give a presentation, there are going to be 20 questions. Why? Because they are judging me.
Mm.
That not on the basis of am I capable or able, on the basis of she's a woman. Is she making this decision based on emotional? Is she making this decision strategically,
Mm-hmm.
logically? What is good for the company in terms of numbers?
Sure.
So you see, immediately right there. So what happens then? A woman then shifts. She changes her feminine energy to a masculine energy. She
Mm-hmm.
starts following that. We are not made like that. We are now becoming like that. And
Mm-hmm.
why are we becoming? Because we want validation and we want to
That's right.
prove ourselves.
Yeah.
That's all it is. We are not made like that.
Yeah.
And
So slowing down to and recognizing that like now is the time and we have the time to figure out who we are. Um, if you could give our listeners just one small place to start, that one thing they could do today, one question they could ask themselves, what would that be to start this journey into knowing who they really are for themselves?
so one question, if they really want to grow and be in themselves, I
Mm-hmm.
would ask them to think about whenever you see transition and a challenge, do not go back and say that I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think I can battle it, and have those self-doubts. Invite those challenges.
Yes.
Invite it and say, okay, this is just another challenge. This is just another transition.
Yes.
Let me wear my thinking hat. Let me tap into my emotional abilities, and let me also tap into my logical reasoning mind. Let me tap into both of them and see how I can show up myself with just one action,
Mm-hmm.
only one action, not with a whole blueprint of 20 different goals, just one action.
Yeah.
Let me work on that one action and see what is the result of that action. And based on that, let me take another change and a shift.
I love it.
We love to get we want the whole picture.
Yeah.
We want the whole blueprint. We want the whole goal. But
Mm-hmm.
no, that one set. Because remember, as I said, we have to see that every role that we are playing is just a role that we are performing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It is just a role that we are performing. It is not us. Because if you want to do that, who am I? It is beyond that performance that we're doing for others. The day you perform for yourself is the day you'll get the answer, who am I?
I love that.
Just perform for yourself.
I love that.
You will know who you are then.
Oh, that
And
is
that
so good.
one action,
Yes.
that
Yes.
one action where you move forward and say, I'm building my life. I am not taking it from scratch. There's nothing from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
Just scratch it out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm building moving forward because I want to progress. I'm progressing. And if that means I'm going to stumble and fall, great. I want that. I want those stumbling and falling because I want to know that is real. I want to understand what are the different challenges in my life so that I can adapt myself and get better.
Yeah.
I should get it earlier than getting it later in my life.
Mm. So I I feel like we could have this conversation all day long, Charu. This is like right in my lane. And I feel like this is the perfect place to land in recognizing that one step, right? That one like mindful question of of who am I for me? What does it look like to perform for me? And the shift from looking at these transitions as a dismantling of our identity and instead just looking them as that place of evolution, of rebalancing, of just another challenge that I can get through. And what would it look like for me to go through this for me? It's beautiful. Now I know that you do some amazing work with women and supporting them through transitions and through their identity work. How can people get a hold of you? And I know you've got a really great freebie for folks. Can you share a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah. So I you can see me on Instagram, Thrive Transform. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm very much there on LinkedIn, and Substack, Medium. I'm there everywhere. TikTok. I'm also there on Facebook.
Beautiful.
And what I'm offering to all the listeners of your podcast right now is something called as the Who Am I Audio Reset Guide.
Mm,
And there are three questions in there, and that is a very good starting
wow.
point for anyone to do the work. It's very three questions, 5 minutes of your time.
Mm-hmm.
It only requires 5 minutes of your time with three questions. Be ready, listen to it, and take it internally as a way of, you know what, I'm making a commitment to myself because I really want to get better and achieve what I want to do for me,
Mm-hmm.
just for me, because I want to know myself better. When I know myself well, I show up better for everyone else.
Mm.
I
Yes.
cannot be manipulated. I cannot be, questioned because I know who I am. So if you listen to that audio link, 5 minutes, I encourage everyone.
Yeah.
It's time. Just give yourself that 5 minutes and answer those questions and reflect on it deeply because
Mm-hmm.
somewhere it'll resonate with everyone at every level, and reach out if that really did. I have few more audio guides in there that takes you through the next steps, and
Beautiful.
it gets you into the path of this discovering yourself. And why not? It's never too late. Don't give yourself a
That's right.
timeline. Expiry is for food, not for
Yeah.
people.
I love that. What a great line. Oh, and what a great resource that you're offering, Charu. Thank you so much. This has been an incredible conversation. I am taking away so much gold, so many great um like activating truth bombs. And I'm so grateful that you are here and willing to share uh with me and with our audiences. This is a conversation I think that all women need to hear. So thank you so much. I'm going to move you backstage. I hope that you stay in the audience until I wrap up. And folks, please, if this connected with you, if you see yourself in what Charu and I have been talking about, reach out to her. Let use her resources. Let her be a person to support and guide you through this transition, this evolution of who you are, because girl, you deserve it. So, thank you again, Charu. I will be with you momentarily. My friends, if this episode was valuable to you, I would love for you to do me a really big favor and subscribe to the Relationship Revolutionary podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Leave us a review, share this episode with one woman who needs to hear it. And let us know what you think, what landed for you, what hit, what questions are coming up. Know that your engagement and your sharing of this helps to get these conversations into the rooms that we couldn't otherwise bring them to, and moves this revolution forward so more and more women's lives can be transformed and their relationships and families too. If you want to work with me at a deeper level in support of your relationship, please reach out to me. There are numerous ways that I can support you, or that my partner Calvin and I can support you and your partner. Um, I want to tell you about two ways that we work with our clients right now, if you're interested. But these are two of several that we can support you. So the first is our relationship revolution community. This is a space I've created for women exactly like you and the partners who love you, if they would like to be a part of the journey with you. This is a space where we learn how to lead and love differently, where we take these ideas and put them into practice, right? With courage, with truth, and with support. It's a monthly membership, and it's not like anything else I think you're going to find out there. So if you are ready to continue to grow and evolve your relationship and stay engaged and keep that at the forefront of your mind and do it in a community and with support, the Relationship Revolution community is your place. It's $147 a month. You can cancel anytime if it doesn't resonate with you, but I think that it will. And the link to join or to learn more, first, you can learn more about it, and then join is in the description. The other thing I wanted to share with you is I'm going to be launching a brand new program in May. May 11th, I think, is our first session. And this program is called The Third Path. This is for the woman who doesn't want to leave, but knows that she can't stay unless something real starts to change. Okay. The third path is the way through to real lasting change. This is a 6-week program. This first launch is the only time I'm going to be teaching it live. So it's a really great opportunity that I invite you to jump in on while you get more of me. But this is, we're going to do a deep dive into the Powerful Love method, the transformational frameworks we teach, the liberating self-work that we do. And we're going to prepare you to be able to lead your relationship from your place of power and effectiveness without doing it all yourself, without overfunctioning and exhausting yourself, trying to get the changes that I know you've been asked for. Spots are limited. We start in May. If you're feeling the pull, reach out and I will get you more information. That's it for today, my dear ones. I hope that you will join me next time for episode 3 of May Myths and every other Catalyst conversation. Our new episodes drop every Friday at 12:30 p.m. Pacific. Until then, keep leading